Hi, it's Sarah here. How's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic day today. So Spirit have asked me to do a talk today on the effect losing our bees is going to have on the human population. So I've done some research and it's pretty staggering. It doesn't matter where in the world you live, doesn't matter how wealthy you are, it's going to affect everybody. So here is a summary. We will lose most of our fruit and veg. Potatoes we won't lose completely, but they're going to become hideously expensive. We will lose honey. We will lose most of our canola oil, our rapeseed oil. Now if you buy a food that has oil in it, most of the time it's rapeseed and canola oil, so that's going to have a huge effect. We will lose linen. We will lose most of our cotton, and cotton is actually found in most materials. Even the materials that are made of polyester, etc., they're usually a blend and has cotton in it. So we will lose denim as well. Coffee, tea and chocolate are all going to become hideously expensive. Herbs and spices and most nuts, we will lose most nuts, herbs and spices. We will also lose alfalfa and clover. Although you don't eat it, most dairy cattle do. So the price of dairy is going to go through the roof. So that's your milk and your cheese and your ice cream and cream, etc. And that's also going to have an effect on meat as well. So there are three main reasons why we are losing the bees. The first one is monocultural farming. So in the good old days, it used to be a farmer had a small farm and he grew lots of different crops. So they were all flowering at different time. Each crop has different minerals and vitamins, etc. So that's going to affect the flowers. And so the bees got a variety. They got food all year round and they tend to get a variety. But now we have what's called monocultural farming. There's a lot less farms, there's bigger farms, and they tend to grow one crop. So the bees are actually becoming malnourished. Two, there's not enough food around. We've lost a lot of our hedgerows, we've lost a lot of our parklands, our natural ground, due to roads, due to cities, farming methods, etc. So basically there just isn't enough food. The third one is pesticides and herbicides. These have a huge effect on the bees' immune system and making them susceptible to mites and diseases. It damages the bees' brains. It makes the bees have less offspring. So pesticides and herbicides have a huge effect on our bee population. The University of California actually did some research of pollen and they found 150 chemicals in pollen. So our bees are being bombarded by these chemicals all the time. So most people tend to think, okay, it's somebody else's problem or it's going to go away. I'm just going to bury my head in the sand and it's not going to be my problem. But actually this problem is not going to go away by itself. And it does affect everybody. So what we really need is everybody just to do a little bit. I've got a list of 12 things here that people can do which will make a big difference. So if everybody just did one or two things off the list, we can just turn this around. So the first one is buy organic if you can, support local farmers markets, or if you have a local beekeeper, buy your honey from a local beekeeper. Apparently, if you buy honey that's made from bees that live within a couple of miles radius of your home, it also really helps with hay fever as well. So that's a win-win. Number two, try growing your own vegetables. Now you don't have to have a big veggie plot. You can just, if you've got a garden, you can just grow vegetables in between your flowers and your shrubs. But just do a little bit of research because some flowers and shrubs inhibit the growth of some vegetables. So you just want to check what you're planting next to what. Number three is plant shrubs that are going to be flowering throughout the year. Don't just have a garden with flowers in it, shrubs in it that flower through the summer. Try and have some that flower through the winter as well, through the autumn, some flower in early spring, because not all bees hibernate. Some are here all year round, so they actually need food all year round. Now it doesn't matter if you live in a high-rise flat or a skyscraper, it doesn't matter. Apparently bees can fly as high as Everest. So as long as you have some kind of outdoor area, try having 2 or 3 flower tubs, flower baskets, etc. Again, try and rotate them so you're going to have them flowering at different times through the years. If you have a garden, try growing your own fruit trees. Blossom is a great source of early food for the bees in the early spring, and also you've got your own spray-free fruit as well, so that's a win-win for you as well. Bees need water. They can't go in deep water, they can't have deep water because they just drown. So what they really need is a shallow dish, a shallow tray, and you put big stones in it. And they walk down the big stones and then they drink the water. So just don't have it deep enough that the bee can actually drown, and the stones need to be sticking out so they can walk in. Obviously try and put it somewhere in the shade, otherwise you're going to be constantly filling it. Try and have a disused part in your garden where you just let the weeds grow. This provides a home for the bees, and also the weeds and things flower as well. You can buy a bee house or you can make your own. We tend to think of bees living in hives, but actually most bees don't. They either live underground or in trees and logs. So try get a bee house or make your own. Buy bee-friendly products, and if you have to spray, try and spray early in the morning or late at night when the bees aren't around. You can make your own herbicides and pesticides. So a couple of suggestions: herbicides, you can use salt on the leaves, just don't put it on the ground. You can use boiling water. You can use a white vinegar and water combination as well, just to spray on. Pesticides, you can have a liquid soap and water combination, or mix some kind of garlic and water preparation and spray that as well. If you have a large garden, you may want to offer it to a beekeeper. They might want to put a couple of hives in your garden. As long as you're not allergic to bee stings, you might find yourself getting some free honey. Try leaving some dandelions for the bees. Bees love dandelions, and again, they're a great source of pollen and nectar when there's nothing else around. So it tends to be a problem when they produce their lovely fluffy seed heads. So as long as you pick off the seed heads before they spread, it's not a problem. If you don't have a garden, maybe get together with some people around, and you can have a community beehive or beehives. Lastly, there is a nasty pesticide called neonicotinoids, and this is related to nicotine. Some governments, some countries have banned it already, but if yours haven't, try writing to your government and see if you can get it banned. Okay, I hope everybody can just do 1 or 2 things off the list. Everybody needs to just play a little part, and then that's going to make a huge difference. So I hope you found that information useful. Do your own research as well. There's a lot of stuff out there on the internet, lots of different ideas as well. Okay, much love, many blessings from my heart to yours.